And I'm going to have you tell me the differences between, at least from where you sit, between tennis now and when you retired. What are the biggest differences?
Oh man, geez. Now, we really are shifting.
He's blushing.
Biggest differences now. It just keeps getting better. I love that about our sport. The athleticism. I mean, watching Novak play and his improvement to like those open stance, like sliding backhands. What Alcaraz can do with that, and the fact that more players are incorporating that, seeing Alcaraz and Sinner both able to do that, and just the speed that Alcaraz has, and his, showing the variety, the fact that he's now adapted at such a young age to be able to see that okay, the game has started shifting back. Medvedev's, Rafa's, Zverev's, all pulling way back, and then okay, so what's the way to combat that? Have a drop shot, be able to attack and come forward. That's what Alcaraz is able to do. That's what Sinner, I feel like, has added a little bit more to his game in the last year and a half. So seeing the way that the players adapt and what they're kind of focusing on is really amazing. And I mean, like I said, the game gets better. I'm never going to be one of. I am a commentator. But I'm never going to be one of those commentators that is going to say, "Oh, back in my day, we would have
Oh,
beaten you."
God,
I would
thank
have beaten
goodness.
you. No, 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 no. The guys are better. There's a reason I'm in the booth wearing a suit and not out there is because I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, and that needs to be said like over and over and over and over again. Like the game doesn't magically get worse with advancements in technology. And but from where I sit, like you used to like Pete's one of the handful of greatest players of all time, and you could go after his backhand, and if you had to be defensive or go after it or like you could serve to it, there was at least like a pressure release valve. My backhand stunk, right? Like there were places that you could go. There were places that you could go, and now it's like, where do you go with Medvedev? Where do you go with Novak? Like, what do you pick your poison? Where do you go with Sinner? Like,
Yeah,
there's nowhere to go comfortably, and everyone's 6'5" and can run.
yeah, it's incredible how physical the game's gotten and how much better. And you're right, there aren't weaknesses very often anymore, and that's you're nitpicking when you're trying to find a weakness. You're really nitpicking, and it used to be. You're right. You used to be able to find weaknesses in players' games, and I also think it was highlighted a little bit by the change in surfaces. You were able to pick on Pete's backhand at the French Open because it was so much slower, and now the French Open, the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, the Australian Open are all not that different. So when you're the best player, to me, I'm a little nostalgic. I like the change in surface being
Me
pretty
too.
drastic because it would, to me, create for how are they going to adjust? How are they going to change their game? Are they going to completely? Is Pete going to stop serving volleying at the French Open? Is Carlos Moya going to start serving volleying at Wimbledon? And see what's going to happen. Now you don't need to do that as much. You're a lot of times if you're the best player in the world, you're the best player on all the surfaces. And so that's something that I do miss a little, and that's changed about our game. That changed even really in our era.
Yes.
And now it's changed even more, I think.
Yeah, I remember distinctly, and I like an '03 semi. I lost to or '04 to '05 Wimbledon finals. '04, I think Roger served and volleyed 80% of the time, and it was like very different. And in '05, it was like he was just staying back and letting me punch myself out because it had slowed. Like there was a conscious decision. I think it was an overreaction to, in the '90s, all you heard was, okay, big service, we're just walking back and forth, and that's not entertaining. I feel like there was an overcorrection, and now it's just kind of been accepted practice. I wish there were some crazy fast weeks that were just known that like, and then you get to see a lot of guys like, why does serve and volley not exist? One, strings. People talk about rackets, but the entire thing is strings. It's why James Blake can swing as hard as he can on every return, and the bottom falls out of it, all of a sudden at the end. But I think there should be differences. We should be showcasing different styles, frankly.
Totally agree.
So I kind
There
of
used to
fully
be
agree
that
with
at the
you.
end of the year. There used to be those like what was it, Paris and
Oh, they're lightning.
yeah, a couple of those used to be lightning, and now they're
Yeah.
now they're really slow again.
Yeah, they put down that kind of surface that you kind of rub your hands across it, not dissimilar to Indian Wells, and it kind of feels like sandpaper.
Yeah.